What's going on, everyone? I'm AB Sports, and today I will be redrafting the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. I'll be playing GM of every team and picking the player I think they should have taken last April. I took out all draft day trades because a lot of those were instances of a team trading up for a player who may or may not be on the board in my redraft. So let's get into it. I'll start off with a recap of what the first round actually looked like last spring. Joe Burrow was the first pick, Chase Young at 2, notable Justin Herbert was at 6 to the Chargers, Justin Jefferson didn't go till 22 to the Vikings. So let's go back in time and put the Bengals back on the clock. In my redraft, I have them taking Justin Herbert. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was one of the most electric players in the whole NFL this year at the quarterback position. I'd say he's probably already a top 10 to 12 quarterback, and he was deserving of the top pick. But I don't want this to take much away from Joe Burrow because I still have him going 2 to Washington. They took Chase Young, and he was fantastic, but you can't win a Super Bowl just by having an elite pass rusher. You have to have a quarterback, and people are going to forget that Burrow was right up in the running with Justin Herbert for Offensive Rookie of the Year. At the mid-season point, I gave the Offensive Rookie of the Year award to Burrow. So he has got a very bright future ahead of him, and Washington would love to have a quarterback of his caliber. But Chase Young is still fantastic, so he goes at 3. Washington took him at 2. Detroit, now with their Jared Goff acquisition and a lot of their draft picks, they could build their defense around Chase Young, maybe draft a quarterback, have him learn behind Jared Goff, even though I don't think you want to learn behind Jared Goff. Don't want him to teach you how to be a quarterback. But Detroit would have a bright future with all the draft picks and Chase Young, as opposed to Jeff Okudah, who was a complete bust. Pick 4, the Giants. They took an offensive tackle here, but Tristan Wirfs was a better offensive tackle. He started every single game, played every single snap for the Super Bowl winning Bucs this year, and protected Tom Brady, which is pretty impressive. Giants could have used him to protect Daniel Jones. Pick 5, Miami, Justin Jefferson. I thought that Miami was better this year when Fitzpatrick was the quarterback as opposed to Tua, and I think if Miami had made this pick of Jefferson instead of taking Tua, they would have made the playoffs because there was pressure to start Tua when they were rolling with Fitzpatrick, and Jefferson would have made Fitzpatrick even better. When they benched Fitzpatrick for Tua, their season kind of fell apart. They had a great defense that didn't need much help there, but Jefferson would have made this team fantastic. Pick 6, the Chargers. Herbert is already off the board, but they still needed a quarterback, and the third best quarterback in this draft, in my opinion, was Jalen Hurts. Played for the Eagles, didn't win very many games, but had a beat-up O-line, no defense, no weapons, and was really electric. I think that he, on this team, obviously wouldn't be as good as Herbert was, but the Chargers would be a very intriguing team with Jalen Hurts under helm. Pick 7, the Panthers. They took Jeremy Chin in the second round. He was fantastic, so they grabbed him in the first, just because he's kind of their Luke Kuechly fill-in, sort of outside linebacker safety combo. He was great this year. Pick 8, the Cardinals. They took Isaiah Simmons here. He was a linebacker, didn't do much, and they could have used some more protection for Kyler. He was getting beat up toward the end of the year, and Becton's one of the best in the game at protecting already. He's huge. Pick 9, Antoine Winfield, another rookie second-round pick for the Super Bowl winning Bucs, and Jacksonville could have used anybody on defense. I literally looked and said, who's the best defensive player available, and took them for Jacksonville because their defense was so bad last year. Pick 10, Jedrick Wills, Browns offensive tackle. They took him, and they're going to take him again because he was great. Pick 11, the Jets. They take CeeDee Lamb this time. The Jets were in desperate need of pass rush help. I know that they needed offensive line, but there were a lot of offensive linemen that they could get at the beginning of the second round when they had a pick, and CeeDee Lamb is a fantastic wide receiver for whoever becomes their quarterback, whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether they stay with Sam Darnold, or draft Justin Fields. Pick 12, Jalen Johnson. The Raiders took some random Damon Arnett corner in the first round who was an absolute bust. Jalen Johnson was one of the best rookie corners. The Bears got him as a steal in the second round. He would be great for the Raiders defense. Pick 13, San Francisco. They took Javon Kinlaw here, who was widely seen as the second best defensive tackle in the draft. That was because Brown went at 7 to the Panthers, and there was nothing wrong with Brown. Brown had a fantastic season. It's just other team needs kind of pushed him down the draft board a little bit, but San Francisco, they traded DeForest Buckner for this pick, and they drafted his replacement here. Pick 14, Mike Onwenu. The Patriots took him in the 6th round, and he was a fantastic tackle this year. So if he could protect all those jokers in New England, he could definitely protect Brady in Tampa. Pick 15, Denver needed a wide receiver. They took Judy here. He had a lot of drop issues and wasn't that electric when he did have the ball in his hands, but Ayuk was very electric when he had the ball in his hands. I have that Devontae Adams comparison with him. I know it seems like high praise, but I really like Brandon Ayuk. He'd be great for whoever the Broncos get at quarterback. They can just dump it off to him and he can make a lot of people miss. Pick 16, Isaiah Simmons. This guy was amazing at Clemson. And Atlanta needed any help on defense that they can. They had a defensive-minded coach, so I think that they could have gotten more out of him than the Cardinals did with Cliff Kingsbury as their offensive-minded head coach. At pick 17, Dallas takes a corner. They took CeeDee Lamb here as a luxury pick, but we saw how horrible their defense was, and kind of like what I said with the Jags, I took the best defensive player on the board. Henderson actually went to the Jags in the 9th pick and had a pretty good rookie year for a pretty bad team. Pick 18, the Dolphins. After taking Justin Jefferson at 5, they take Jonathan Taylor at 18. So the offense of Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jonathan Taylor, and Justin Jefferson, along with Devontae Parker, and you can get some Myles Gaskin mixing in the backfield with a fantastic defense. The Dolphins could have been a top 3 team in the AFC this year, up there with the Bills and the Chiefs, if they had this lineup on offense. I really do think that. Pick 19. The Raiders, Patrick Queen. Kind of like what I said with Dallas and Jacksonville. Best defensive player on the board. Raiders just had no help on D aside from Max Crosby, their pass rusher. Queen he's a super fast linebacker. Reminds me a little bit of Devin White, so there was a bit of a good pick for the Raiders. The Ravens got him at the end of the 1st. Pick 20, AJ Terrell of the Falcons took him at 16. And it's about in that same range. He was pretty good as a rookie, but Jacksonville, like I said, just needs anything on defense. Pick 21, the Eagles took Jalen Reagor, but Chase Claypool would have been a much better option. He went in the mid-2nd round to the Steelers, and I think that he would have made Carson Wentz a lot better. A lot of those 50-50 balls he was throwing this year that got picked, I think Claypool would have come down with them. Pick 22, T. Higgins. Minnesota missed out on Justin Jefferson because obviously he went a lot higher in the redraft, but still get T. Higgins, who had a really good year with some really bad quarterbacks after Joe Burrow got hurt. 23, New England, Tua Tagovailoa. I don't think Tua looked very good in his first year. I know that we can't judge a rookie by his first six or so games, but Belichick, I think, could get the best out of Tua. And I think this pairing is perfect for the kind of offense that Belichick wants to run, where he runs the ball and throws short passes and plays tough D. So this would be a great spot for Tua to land. 24, Saints took Cesar Ruiz. He was a center, and he was pretty good, so I just gave him to him again. 25, Minnesota had a terrible secondary this year. They had really good offense with Thielen, Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, but they could not guard anybody, so they take Trayvon Diggs, the best corner on the board. 26, Miami, their 3rd pick of the 1st round, and they take Jordan Love. So Miami comes out of the draft with their heir apparent quarterback who can learn behind Fitzpatrick and sit for a while, Jonathan Taylor and Justin Jefferson. I think that I improved the Dolphins the most out of any team. We don't know if Jordan Love's any good, but I think that it'd be worth their time with their 3rd first-round pick to take him because their defense was outstanding. 27, Andrew Thomas. The Giants took him at 4th. And he wasn't great, but Seattle needs offensive linemen, and a tackle to go win at 4th overall can't be that bad. 28, Kenneth Murray. The Ravens took Patrick Queen at this pick, but he's gone obviously, so they take the other 1st-round caliber linebacker, Kenneth Murray, who had a pretty good year for the Chargers. He was really good in run defense, but needs to work on his pass defense. 29, Javon Kinlaw. San Francisco took him at pick 13 or 14. And Tennessee just needed anything pass rush. They had 14 sacks the whole season. They didn't get a pressure on Aaron Rodgers or Lamar in all those big games, and Kinlaw would have really helped the Titans' defensive line. Pick 30, Green Bay, L'Jarius Sneed. He was a 3rd-round corner for the Chiefs, and he could have started over Kevin King, who literally lost them the game in the NFC Championship by allowing 3 touchdowns and blowing that Scotty Miller play before the half. Green Bay really should have taken, not a wide receiver like everyone said. a corner or some defensive help, because they just struggled defensively in the playoffs when it really mattered for the second year in a row. Pick 31, San Francisco gets Jerry Jeudy. Denver actually got Brandon Ayuk, which is funny. They kind of flipped a little bit. And Jeudy has a lot of potential, even though he didn't really show it in his rookie year with some bad quarterback play. And pick 32, the Chiefs, Jeff Okudah. He went 3rd overall to the Lions and had a really rough rookie year, but the wide receivers in the NFC North he had to cover all year are tough, and I think that with some good coaching on the Chiefs, he could become a star. I mean, I don't think he's going to get that in Detroit, which kind of sucks, but the Chiefs struggled on defense in the playoffs and could have used a corner like Okudah to build. And yeah, so that's the end of my mock draft. Some notable guys that didn't go in the first round in this draft but went in the real draft would be Henry Ruggs and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and thanks for watching.